Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Game Week 16 League 1 score predictions. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well. If you are new, can we try and hit 120 likes on today's video? And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. How do you think your team will get on over this weekend? Obviously, it's yet another international break. I think this is the final one now until March. So there is a fair few games that have been postponed, but I think we've still got 5 or 6 matches or so to go through, preview and predict. Let's waste no further time and get straight into it. Obviously, AFC Wimbledon versus Stockport County has been postponed. So has Barnsley FC versus Northampton Town. But Burton Albion versus Blackpool FC is on for this one. Obviously, recently, Burton have been on a decent run of form. They've picked up 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat in their last 5 matches. I don't think Burton have been as high as 15th in League 1 since probably Nigel Clough was back at the football club. In terms of Blackpool, though, they've recently turned up at their form as well. I think they lost in the Virtue Trophy in midweek, but in the league, they've picked up back-to-back wins under Ian Evatt. Still sat in the relegation places at this moment in time in 21st position, but like I say, under Ian Evatt, they have certainly picked things up. Burton at home so far this campaign are actually the second worst team in the entire division, just 7 points picked up at home all campaign. But Blackpool on the road so far this season, they are the worst away team in the entire division. They've only picked up the 1 win on the road so far this campaign. That was obviously Ian Evatt's first game though, away at Peterborough United. They've lost every other match and they've only scored in 1 other away game. But under Ian Evatt, things are clearly changing. Obviously, Burton's most recent league match, they got a big win away at Bradford City, the first team to do that since March, and only the 3rd team to win at Vale Parade since the beginning of last season, which goes to show how big of a result that was for them. But in this game, I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Cardiff City versus Huddersfield Town has also been postponed, so we'll move on then to Leyton Orient versus Exeter City. Now, obviously, Leyton Orient recently have been on a very bad run of form. They find themselves just outside of the relegation zone by 2 points. They are currently 20th, so they lose this game, and obviously Blackpool win, they could be dropping down into that bottom 4, which you think they got to the League 1 playoff final last campaign. It has been a nightmare season for them. They've conceded far too many goals, the second most in the entire division. They've conceded 27, held 4 in their most recent match as well, away at Wycombe, but they've actually scored 22 goals, which is the joint most in the, I think, out of every team that is not in the playoffs at this moment in time. They're actually amongst one of the higher goal scorers in the division. Only Bolton on 23 and Bradford on 24 have scored more goals than Leyton Orient so far this campaign. So it goes to show how bad that their defence has been. Exeter recently, they've been fairly consistent. 2 wins, 2 draws and 1 defeat in their last 5 matches. So things are certainly starting to look positive for Exeter. In terms of Orient at home so far this campaign, they're 16th in the home table. They've picked up 11 points from their 7 home games so far this campaign. Exeter on the road, they've picked up 2 wins and 5 defeats and found themselves 14th in the away table. But I feel like this is the sort of game where Leyton Orient will play Exeter off the park. They'll try and play their low block, but I don't think it'll quite work in this one. I'm going to back the O's for a 2-0 home win. Lincoln City versus Doncaster Rovers is up next, and obviously recently Lincoln have been on a very poor run of form. Just 1 goal scored in their last 5 matches. They've lost 3 of their last 5 as well, but they're still clinging on to that final playoff spot at this moment in time in 6th position, compared to Doncaster Rovers, who recently have been slipping and sliding down that league table. They've still not won in the league since beating Bradford City at the beginning of September. We obviously went away to Doncaster on Tuesday night and they beat us once again, with Jordan Gibson scoring another couple of goals, his first goals since Bradford at home, which just goes to show that he only turns up against us. But Doncaster, they've picked up 3 defeats and a draw in their last 4 matches. They're on a really poor run of form at this moment in time. 2 sides that are really on a bad run, but obviously Lincoln have been slightly better recently than at Doncaster Rovers, and we know Lincoln have been very solid at home so far this campaign. 4 wins, 2 draws and 1 defeat from their opening 7 home matches. In terms of Doncaster on the road so far this campaign, they've not been awful. 2 wins, 1 draw and 4 defeats sees them pick up 13th spot in the away table so far this campaign. But I think I'm going to back Lincoln City to get back to winning ways and go with a 2-0 home win. Luton Town versus Rotherham United is up next then, and both of these sides recently have been on a decent run of form, especially Rotherham. They've picked up 13 points from their last 15 available. Mansfield on a really good run of form, find themselves up in 12th at this moment in time. As for Luton Town, it's back-to-back wins for them, and they now find themselves just 3 points off of the playoffs with a game in hand on a fair few of the teams around them. Obviously, Luton are the home team for this fixture, and they've been okay at home so far this campaign, but they've certainly not been great. They've obviously got a couple of games in hand. It's 3 wins and 3 defeats at home. They actually find themselves 20th in the home table, but again, they've played, in some cases, in fact in a lot of cases, 2 games less than a lot of sides at home, so that I would take that with a little bit of a pinch of salt. In terms of Rotherham on the road so far this campaign, they had actually lost their first 5 away matches of the season, but recently they've won the last 2 away games on the bounce, so things are starting to look positive for both of these sides, more in terms of Rotherham's case rather than Luton, but both of these sides are going in the right direction. Obviously both teams can't win this game, and for that reason I'm going to back the home side Luton Town for another 2-0 win. That's 3 home 2-0 wins on the trot there. Mansfield Town versus Peterborough United has been postponed. Same can be said about Plymouth Argyle versus Bradford City. So next we go to Port Vale versus Wycombe Wanderers. Obviously both of these sides are kind of going in contrasting ways at this moment in time. Wycombe recently have been on a good run of form. It's 11 points picked up from their last 5 matches since Michael Duff's come in to the club. I think they've been a much better side. They look like a more competent League One outfit, and they're only 6 points off the playoffs. Stranger things have certainly happened in football. In terms of Port Vale though, they currently sit second bottom of the table, 4 points from safety, 3 straight defeats on the bounce, no win in a long time, just 3 league wins all campaign and just 11 league goals scored so far this season. They are comfortably the lowest goal scorers in the entire division. They have only conceded 19, which is the lowest amount actually in the bottom 5 teams, but scoring goals has been a big problem for them so far this season. Darren Moore for me is and has always been a massively overrated manager, you know, since he got Doncaster into the playoffs. And I think the thing with Darren Moore is, I know I've been repeating it a couple of times now, but I really need to hammer this point home. When he doesn't have the best squad in the entire division, I really do think Darren Moore struggles, and obviously he's still got another 4-5 years left to run on his contract with Port Vale. He's got a long time left, so I can't see them sacking him any time soon, and it wouldn't surprise me if they do go down this campaign, because they're on a really bad run of form. I know they're the home side, but even at home so far this season, they've not been particularly great. They're the worst home team in the entire division, just 1 win at home all season. That is absolutely awful. It's 2 draws and 4 defeats in their other matches at home as well. In terms of Wycombe away from home, they've not been great on the road so far this campaign. It's just 1 away win, 2 draws and 4 defeats, so neither of these sides are, in Port Vale's case, good at home, or Wycombe's case, good away from home. But I do see it changing in this one for Wycombe. They are the form team. Port Vale are the opposite, one of the worst teams in the division at this moment in time, so I'm going to back Michael Duff's side for a 2-0 away win. And then obviously Stevenage FC versus Bolton Wanderers has been postponed, and the same can be said about Wigan Athletic versus Reading FC. So just a short and sweet video for you today, just 5 games for us to go through and preview. 7 have been postponed due to international call-ups, and again we go back to the point that a fair few people have been making over the last couple of years, like with the Premier League and the Championship, where every game is just called off on an international break. Should the same be done in League One? I think there's a couple of games called off in League Two, but it doesn't happen all that often at that level. But certainly at League One it seems to be the case where there's more games off rather than on, and I guess it can maybe give certain teams an advantage. There's obviously going to be a few teams that have got a fixture pile up. In the case of, I think, Cardiff and Huddersfield, and also Plymouth and Bradford, because all of those sides were knocked out of the first round of the FA Cup, then that's actually been rearranged for the beginning of December, when obviously all them sides were meant to play in the second round, which is positive for those clubs. But any other side that's had their game postponed, they're going to have to do it on a Tuesday night when it's getting cold and the fixtures starting to pile up. It's not ideal for those clubs. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think that League One clubs should just automatically have all their games called off during the international break, or would you rather see it stay? I guess. Thank you all so much for watching today's video though. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 120 likes, as I said at the start of today's video? And like I say, get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. How do you think your team will get on over this weekend, and also your thoughts on League One games potentially being mandatory postponed during the international break? Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one.